Brittnee Smith Podcast is celebrating a Strong Friend Summer. And we are supporting, lifting up, encouraging, shouting out, highlighting the strong friend. And what I found is when I posted on social, like, hey guys, where are my strong friends at? They were like, don't call me strong friend. I don't want to be nobody's strong friend. Like that was like the response. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Um, so what I gathered was that there is some trauma around being the strong friend, right? There's, feeling underappreciated, being the go-to for everyone and not having anyone to go to yourself, wearing all the hats and never having any relief. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't want to celebrate that version of the strong friend. I want to reinvent and redefine the strong friend. And so my backdrop for that is Joshua 1, 8, and 9 about being strong and courageous and doing everything that God has called you to do. And being that friend who is pursuing the things of God, but also now creating a community of those strong friends. So that is the spirit behind the Strong Friend Summer, is creating space for us who are wearing many hats with people that get it, women that get it. So I thought about all of my strong friends and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta call Rhonda, gotta talk to my Rhonda. So
Mhm.
I want our episode to be around those relationships that stand the test of time.
Okay.
And yeah, and how we can encourage those listening to love on each other regardless of how much time has gone by, regardless of stage, age, all the things, being able to pick back up and establishing community that does that. So
Mm.
that's what our episode is going to be about.
Okay. Okay. Well, I love this. And I definitely love how you're approaching it from like anti, the strong friend who empties her cup and now she's depleted because she's giving and giving. So interestingly enough, so I'll tell you my perspective because you may be like, well, wait a minute, I don't know if I want you on my show tainting, what I'm trying to do. But I definitely, I'll be 49 next month. So I have a lifetime of friendships and a lifetime of cultivating relationships, a lifetime of, for some, I would say multiple lifetimes because it's a blessing to get to this age. Many people don't get to see 49. So that's a blessing. I think I've seen the best and the worst of friendships. I've seen me and my husband talking about this today, where we were just talking about a friend that our friendship just we thought there was no jealousy there. It was a husband and wife. We're like no jealousy, and then things happened. We parted ways. This person literally called 10 years later to apologize, and I was like, it's okay because God is still working in my life, right? And you
Yeah.
were not the vessel through which He chose to work, so it's okay because I'm still being blessed and still getting the things I desire. So it's funny, just the highs and lows of friendship.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I am really and I think this is a testament, just in this moment I'm thinking of this. Like this is a testament to us. My friendships that have weathered the storm of time passing, of
Yeah.
life happening, of us evolving as women are those relationships that are grounded in Christ
Hmm.
and faith, where we really, I don't want to say we don't even know that exists, but at the core of it is an understanding of faith and God and His love and His understanding and His grace and His mercy. And I think the strong friend is that friend who understands that, listen, I'm married with 4 kids and
Yeah.
my husband don't be acting right and we don't have a lot of money and I don't have a car and I don't have this opportunity to see you as much as I want to, but when we get together it's like we never left. I
Yeah.
mean, I have a friend from I don't know if you saw the post. I haven't been posting as much, but I posted, she made a blanket for my daughter. Me and her
Mhm.
were friends since 6th grade.
Oh,
And she's come to like my book signing and little things I've done. I shouldn't say little things, but different
yeah.
milestones in my life. and haven't talked to her in like 5 years. And I asked her to do something special for my daughter. So she made this Drexel University blanket. And I was just like, and then she put this really wonderful note on it for my daughter. And it's like, wow, like my daughter will have this fabric or fiber of a friendship that I've cultivated since I was like, I don't know, 10, 11
Yeah.
years old, perhaps. And
Right.
so, but again, this is someone who, trusts God, believes in God. And I find that when people have that level of faith, right, or just believing in God as the foundation of their existence, I feel like there's an understanding, there's a grace, there's a patience,
Hmm.
and I don't have to be any kind of way around her. I don't have to pretend. She doesn't have to pretend with me. We can be who we are.
Yeah.
Time can pass. So that's kind of where I am right now. It's kind of like and then it's just hard to try to cultivate anything with folks that don't have faith. I mean,
Let's show.
listen, you a complaining person, because you don't have you're self-care grounded in Christ. I'm telling you, and I was just telling somebody today, let me grab my books. So, and then I'll be quiet because I want to see what you think. So this book, Prayers for Knowing God. I done made friends virtually with my coworkers. So my coworker sent me this book, Prayers for Knowing God, and just, again, a testament to new coworker. We talking kiki kakan over Teams chat, and then all of a sudden we figure out we both love God, and then he
Yeah.
gifted me this book. So again, it's just cultivating relationships where is grounded in Christ. And then I was just telling my friend, y'all be working me through the work week. I need my Bible close. So I just have that there too. But I do think that the strong friend is someone who is faith based, is Christian based, who loves God, who understands the work that he does in all of us, who understands evolving as a woman, and who is patient while you're going through that. I believe that the strong friend, shares similar values. They don't have to be the same. Their life doesn't have to look like yours, but at the core of who they are is the understanding that Christ lives in both of us. Um, and I also think that the strong friend isn't afraid to set boundaries and isn't afraid to um, kind of say this is who I am and be real and be honest and put, herself out there in a vulnerable. I think strength is vulnerability.
Absolutely.
And I've told my daughter, like, because she's a couple of times she's been like, I was, vulnerable and honest, and that person, basically told or did whatever they did. And I'm kind of like, that's okay. And I don't ever apologize for being vulnerable and trusting people.
Yeah.
When you take what I've given you in that space and you've not handled it well, that's
Right.
okay. Lesson learned for me, but I never apologize for being who I am. So,
Yeah.
um, I hope that I'm connecting to like the message. Or is there anything else that I should be thinking about that I'm not really thinking about in this moment?
So, for those of you who are listening, we've already started the episode. Okay. we've already we've already dove in. And the funny thing is, um, this is really driving home the point, right? Because we jumped into it without even trying to jump into it.
Hmm.
And I do believe that that is the thread of Christ that has kept us connected, over all this time. And so I think that even for those who either don't know him well or don't know that that's what it is, that's what it is. Because there's no distance in prayer, there's no distance in the spirit, right? And so, no, we are very much right on, and we're
Yeah.
going to include all of that just
Yes.
now.
Yes. And remember, I told you, right? The strong friend isn't necessarily a physical fixture, but a
Yeah,
spiritual fixture. And
absolutely.
I told you listen, now you can see my face when I say this to you. Every time I get on a plane, not sometimes, not if I think about it, not every so often. Let me say it for God to understand what I'm saying. Every time I get on a plane, I start playing my 3 or 4 songs, because at the time you had the 3 or 4 songs. And when I tell you the plane be going down the runway, and I'm like, take up your bed, pick up your bed, pick up. And I'd be like, listen, honey, you're gonna be okay. And I can do the background on all them songs right now. All I need to do is hear the tune, and I'm singing every song word for word down like lip sync battle. Okay. To me, that's a strong friend because your influence. And I'm talking like petrified, like I have to go to the doctor, I have to get a medication, I'm claustrophobic. I don't even like being on air, like in elevators, too many people get on, I'm getting off. So this is like a real, this isn't a kiki kaka, like this is a real thing. And every time I'm on these planes, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's Brittnee who I'm thinking of and who is getting me through the ascent and the descent. Because for me, that's the worst part. And then it's like I'm listening to your music, I hear your voice, ding, ding, ding. There's one song got the ding, ding, ding to it, and I'm listening to all these melodies and these, the verses. And then I'm calmed. And it's just like, wow, like this is a person I met back in like 2017, 18.
Yeah.
Gave me this music, was not even talking about being a musician, an artist, a phenomenal creator. This Brittnee Smith, we don't know who she was because back then this Brittnee did not exist, right? But the spirit of who she was, the ministry, the purpose that you were anticipating would be today was then, and I'm still reaping the benefits of your friendship and your love, your vulnerability and your honesty. Back when I was sitting in your house, and I don't know, it was Jersey City, I don't know where I was, but I was sitting in your house and watching you about to bake cookies or something, or just finished baking something. And to today, okay, you are still a strong friend that supports me in like a way that I need medical help to get through. It's you, it's the medical help in you. So I think when we think of strong friendships, right, it's just really trusting and relying on the strengths of the strong friend. And I think friendship is, not looking at, not that I would look and think that we have weaknesses, because that's not what I look for, but I look for vulnerability. And again, it doesn't have to be we're in each other's faces. I mean, I sent you a message after like 2 years and just said, sis, I've been meaning to send this to you, but just thank you for just speaking to my spirit, because and nobody else, Hezekiah Walker can't do it. It's something about your voice. I mean, your God favored me, and I'd be like, no, I need ding, ding, ding. No, I need to pick up your bed.
Oh my goodness.
I can't think right now, but like if it came on, I would be singing it. And I'm not gonna waste our time because my phone right here and it's right there on my music, but I'm not gonna bring it up. But like, so to me, that's the strong friend. And again, if you weren't, if God did not live in you how he lives in you, you could not speak to me the way you speak to me. So I think we have to, maybe even to your point, redefine the idea of a strong friend, what friendship is, what it looks like for the busy woman, what it looks like for the faith-based woman, because it doesn't look like our mama's friends and our grandmommy's friends, right? It looks a little different. And virtually, right, we can connect in many different ways. But again, Brittnee, thank you for your friendship and the way you speak to my heart. And you're going to speak to me again on June 19th. On Juneteenth, when I hop on that plane to Playa del Carmen, I'm going to be picking up my bed, Jesus.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, ladies who are listening, I'm just like, I'm trying not to be a mess right now. But I need y'all to understand that in the midst of this strong friend summer, this is what it's all about. So I'll give you some backstory about Rhonda. That's what I'm gonna call us. I'm gonna call us Rhonda.
I love it.
And so I met Rhonda, and it was actually I met you before I had Sophia. Matter of fact, yeah,
Before you were
I had
married.
Sophia, before I was married, before I had Sophia, I was working as an administrative assistant for a woman-owned business. And I heard about this event hosted by Darnell Jervey, right? Is that her name? Darnell?
Yep.
That's her
Yep.
last name. Yes.
Yep.
And I felt like I needed to be there. So I'm like, ooh, so Tanya, right? If you send me to this event, then I can go take the notes and bring it back. I really just wanted to go to the event, but I was broke and I needed her to pay for it. So she sends me to this event and I meet Rhonda. And so at the time, had no idea that this friendship, this connection would be birthed from our meeting way back then. Because again, Sophia was born in 2016. So this was like 2015.
Yeah.
So almost 10
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years ago. Wow. And so
Wow.
from there, we kept in touch. She was a life ignited. So she was doing her speaker thing, her author thing, her business coach, her life coaching thing.
Yeah.
And I kept in touch and I had looked up to her like, wow, she's doing business. And like, I'm old enough to have adult friends. Like this is cool. And so we kept in touch over time. And it's funny because that's the name of your business, right? A Life Ignited. And that's what she did in my life. She ignited my life. There was something in me that she saw, and I'm like young, like, or just like figuring out who I am, just blowing in the wind. And I meet Rhonda. And so over the course of time, I remember something you said to me, when I was kind of just in that space of trying to figure things out. And you told me to be nice to Brittnee. And I never forgot that, like, because I had never had anyone see me. Well, at least I probably did, but I never, um, I just, you just hit different. Rhonda hit different. And so when you told me to be nice to Brittnee, I carried that. And that was something that I took into, Be the Girl on the Right came down the line. And, I started kind of figuring out who I was as a branding person, as a graphics person. I was trying to find out, am I a life coach? Am I this? I was growing in ministry over the course of the years as well. And so Rhonda has had a seat in the audience of watching me grow and evolve and change. And I appreciate, Rhonda, that you never changed. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact, like when you sent me a voice note, y'all, like maybe 2, 3 weeks ago. And like she said, it had been 2 years. Like the pandemic had happened, like all these things had happened. I got another baby now. Like it's her kids are like in college. Like it's crazy. And she sent me this voice note telling the story that she just told you guys about how she listens to my music every time she gets on a plane. And now, y'all, this music was released in like 2014, right? So the music is like old. But the fact that it's still blessing her to this day still blows my mind. I'll cry if I think about it too hard. But it's a testament to the thread of God that has connected us and kept us connected over the course of time. And so I wanted us to have this conversation today, and shed some light on those relationships. You might have some of those relationships in your life that you may not have spoken to her in years, but I want to challenge you to reach out and just see, because literally me and Rhonda getting back together, it really does feel like no time has passed. Like it feels like we were just talking last week, and I'm watching her kids grow up on social media. She's watching my kids grow up. So I'm like, how's Lauren doing? How's everything? And it's like, you want to say it's magical, but it's not magic, right? Like it's supernatural.
Yep.
It's supernatural. And
Yeah.
so that's why
Yeah.
it is important for you to be yoked with those who are equal to you
That part.
spiritually.
Yes.
You can have acquaintances, you can have, be connected to people who don't believe, but that strong friend connection, that is of God
Yep.
and of God alone. So Rhonda, talk a little bit about how you know that someone is that, or that connection is there. Like, is it a feeling? Is it a vibe? Is it a, like, what does that look like? And maybe it's different for everyone, but what does that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, it's definitely a feeling immediately. I think it's a feeling of, for me, it's a comfort. So, you may or may not know this. I was just telling someone this. I am the world's biggest introvert. You don't see that here. because I'm comfortable with you. I love what we're doing. I love the conversation when I'm speaking and I'm ministering to people. I would say comfort. But I'm very much an introvert. And so, when I do connect with people in many different settings, whether I meet you, waiting for a show to start, or I meet you at church, or I meet you at work, right? There's something just that I know there's a comfort. And like I said, even virtually at work, meeting someone like just through conversations and chats and realizing that we have a similar path and a similar background and we both believe in the same things. So for me first, it's a feeling, and I am a good judge of character. So I think that's a gift. And I'm very thankful for the gift because I think it protects me a lot of times from people who were not meant to be in my life, although they do, they do, bob and weave and get up in there sometimes. They get up in there.
Right.
But I also think that it's conversation. It's how you treat other people. And I would even say, I would say if I have to think about it, like when I think about you, or I think about my husband, or I think about strong friendships, I would say it's who's in your circle and how you treat the people around you. Not so much the people around you, but how you treat them, how you reverence them, how you talk about them, how you experience them, how you support them. And I'm going to use you. You were in